Hey guys, Geno Zero, how you doing? I hope all is well in YouTube land, whatever part of the world that you are in. It's been a while since I made a little bit of a video, so I figured today we got some things I need to do around the house, which is just kind of a typical late fall, early winter type of day. We are in our deer gun season right now. I didn't go hunting this morning because the weather has just been terrible around here as far as hunting weather goes. And I've got some other things I got to do, so I figured we'd just put on this little GoPro camera thing here and make one of those. Let's kind of hang out and visit and, I don't know, hang out and do stuff around the house. So I will let you know in advance, my backyard and my back porch they're trashed just because I haven't had, the time to kind of get everything straightened out and organized, so to speak. So don't give me a bunch of crap about having a junk pile. You know you're going to do it. So anyway, let me strap this thing on and we'll go around. All right, a couple of things that we've been doing the winter. I got that little locust tree there that fell down. I'll have to get it sawed up, but we've been collecting our rabbit tractors and stacking them. We stack them over here next to the barn for the winter time. All of our rabbit and chicken tractors, we'll stack them up over there out of the way for the winter time. That way we can get in and out with the mule and the four-wheeler through trapping season. And here on the garden, this was our old garden area. After our last picking, we let the weeds grow for the last several weeks of gardening. We'll let the weeds grow up. And now when we're cleaning out our barn, I don't know if you'll be able to see the little wheelbarrow piles of rabbit manure. We're going to put all that on there. And here, pretty soon, we're going to burn it. We'll burn the whole thing down, all the weeds and all the dead grass and stuff. We'll burn it all off. We already started down on that end. And then we'll rake everything out smooth. And we'll probably split our wood here again this year. And that all will help the garden. That way next spring when we go to till, we can just till all that stuff right into the dirt. And it should help it out pretty good. But we've still got a couple of tractors down there that I've got to get and get them moved up. So, and of course that little locust tree, I got to get it out of the way and saw it up. That'll be some good wood. And then we've got, just piles of lumber and piles of scrap stuff here and there. We're not having use for it yet, but we will. And then you guys remember my $100, this building cost us about $100 because we used a bunch of repurposed material from stuff that we, from other old buildings that we tore down. I got the mule and the log splitter and the lawnmower and stuff in here. It's kind of cluttered right now, but it is what it is. There's a sign that my buddy Andy from Andy's Backyard Shop made. Look at that, Andy. Hanging right there in front of the rabbitry. I hope you guys can see it. I'm not sure where this camera is exactly pointing, but and then in this part of the barn, we've got our show rabbits. Hello, Buns. Hello, Beady Bun Buns. And we're getting to the time of the season, too, to where our watering systems here will probably start freezing up overnight. They're not to that point yet, but we've got bowls. You see the ceramic bowls inside the cages for water. Hi, sweeties. I see they're little sweetie pies. Yeah, they're so cuties. I the bunny booty. I get your bunny booty. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. But these are the mini wreck show rabbits. Are you jealous? Huh? Is that what it is? You jealous, buddy? We got our bucks and our does, and then some of the does have got babies. This here's a little sweetie right here. I like her. But this is it needs to have another cleaning. We'll come in here and clean it. And we're also going to be hanging up, I've got a real thick tarp that we hang up for the winter time over on this part of it to kind of keep it all buttoned up through the weather. But, hi buddy. These three little dudes here, Mary's going to be delivering them today. Huh, yeah, we're going to go find a new house. Yes, you are. And then everybody, we're going to kind of downsize for the winter time. So, anywho, the shed, this new building is working out really well for us. We did get a new heat exchange this year, thanks to my buddy Joe and my other buddy Gary. They had this up north. They brought it out of an old house. They didn't have a use for it, so they brought it down to us. And this thing is working awesome for us. It's got a bigger ductwork. It's got 8-inch ducts on it. And it's got a return. You see the window there. The heat comes out of the top of here up into there. And then we've got a return that comes back down into the bottom. The bottom there has got a fan on it, and we got it plugged into an extension cord, and the fan will kick on, and it really pushes the heat around, and it returns it. So it's a lot more efficient. I know in the past a lot of you guys have mentioned, you know, put a fan on my older heat exchange, and I just never could really figure out how to get that done. But this one here has got one built in, and it is really working well, and it's really, really efficient, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it, and we'll see how much. I don't expect that fan will use a whole lot of energy, and we don't necessarily have to have the fan. It still pushes heat even when the fan's not running. The heat still comes up, just like the old heat exchange. Just the heat rising itself will come up into that pipe and go into the house. So that's our new heat exchanger that we're going to use this year, and so far it's working really well. So, and we got to get on that firewood pile. It's running low. The never-ending firewood splitting. One of the things that happens every year is you got to just keep after the firewood. It never stops. Excuse me. What are you doing, Dakota? Huh? With the handsome boy? Huh? What you doing, my Mr. Man? What you doing, my Mr. Man? We still got our goats down here. Hi, Bob. We still got our goats down here in the old chicken grow-out pen. Huh. They did a good job of cleaning it up. We'll probably leave them in here over the winter time. This section of the garden right here, we let rest last year. We let it grow up. Here later on in the winter time, I'll come down and we'll pull all the weeds and get it ready to go. Of course, another little scrap pile, tarps, and that PVC board. So we let this rest. I put this big tarp on the hillside because we had a lot of spearmint and stuff. I put this big tarp down to try to kill it off. So we'll see if it works or not. Some of it was growing up this way. But over here, we see Miss Pork Chop. We figured we'd give a little critter update. And one of the ladies, what are you doing, sweetie pie? What are you doing? Oh, goodness. What, am I sweet little piggy? Huh? You gonna say hi to all the folks on YouTube? You gonna say hi to all the people on YouTube? With a girl. Yeah. She had an adventure yesterday morning. We didn't have the camera. Dirty piggy. Too cold to give you a bath. Too cold to give you a bath. My daughter didn't latch the gate very well, and Pork Chop was able to jump out. She got through the gate, and she went down and said hello to Miss Nora down the road a ways. Huh? Oh, I know it. Yes, she's my pretty girl. No, I don't want piggy kisses. I don't want piggy kisses. I don't want piggy kisses. But she managed to pop the gate open, and she went down and paid a visit to the neighbors down the creek a ways. But she, you know, once I went down there and called her, she followed me right back home. So, a couple of questions about Pork Chop. A lot of folks have asked if we're going to eat her. No. She is our breeding sow. We're going to try to breed her again, probably at the end of next month. We're going to breed her. We're going to artificial inseminate her. I have a veterinarian who's going to come out and help me with that. So hopefully we can do the right thing and get it done. Get it done properly this time and have a litter of spring pigs. That's the plan for Miss Pork Chop. And she's such a good hog. She's really docile. She's really good with the kids. She's really good with the folks that come out to visit. And everybody wants to pet her and love on her, and she just eats it up and loves it, don't you? I see a piggy booty. A piggy booty. I see a piggy booty. So, that's a quick update on Miss Pork Chop there. Huh. Isn't it? We're in the middle of deer season. We've been looking on the hills, but there hasn't been a whole lot of shooting going on. Yesterday, my buddy Josh shot and tagged one and brought it down to me for the, we call it feeding the creek, which is anybody who has extra deer that they shoot, they bring them here to me and I skin them and butcher them, and we cut all the steaks up and grind up and all that kind of stuff. And then we'll distribute it all out amongst our elders that live up and down the creek here. And we do the same thing with fish. We've been doing a lot of fishing here lately. I'll probably try to go back out tonight after dark and catch some more fish, just to make sure that our elders have fresh meat. and stuff like that. But okay, pork chop. Yeah, you know, there's something delicious down there, isn't there? So anyway, there's pork chop. Here's our pheasant pen. We've got 4 pheasants left. What are you doing, buddy? They're pretty good at hiding, so I don't know if you can see the roosters over there and the hens behind the little tree. The pheasants didn't do real good this year. We had a pretty rough year. The predators, you know, we had issues with predators and stuff back in the summertime. Just a rough year, and I don't know whether or not we're going to make the expenditure to do it again next year or not. We'll just have to kind of play it by ear and see how it goes, and take it from there. They are beautiful birds. What are you doing, peepers? Peeper, peeper, peeper. But there's our pheasant pen. The grow out has been working really well. The pen itself is working really well, but just a matter of, you know, we had some got sick and died on us. We had, like I said, before we put up this taller board. We had an issue with some coons that got a couple of them. They got to fighting there for a minute, and they killed a couple of them, killed each other. It's just been a crazy year for birds this year. So, but anyway, like I said, there's an update on our pheasant pen and our pheasant run. The pen itself does pretty good. Hello, girls. Hello, ladies. Ladies running around looking for whatever. There you go. Hi, peepers. Hi, peepers. So, like I said, I don't know how well this little GoPro camera is going to pick them up. Hi, buddy. Hi, pretty boy. Oh, there goes a little hen. But there's our pheasants and the pheasant run. All right, we're down here at the old skinning station. We've got this little buck that one of my buddies shot and tagged yesterday. I got the tag for him. I took the tag off while I worked him up. A little spike buck. Those horns there, we'll probably send them. We'll send these antlers off probably down to Ricky Wallace to make some little knife handles out of. And when I skinned my deer here the last couple of years, I skinned one when I did a video series on skinning deer. I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago. And I used to hang them by their back legs in a gambrel. But I have found over the last couple of years that when I hang them by their head like this, I get a lot less hair on the meat. I don't know why that is. And it's just a different, you know, everybody's got their own style of skinning. This guy's got a messed up leg, a couple messed up legs, but that's all right. We're gonna get him skinned out here and worked up and quartered up. This was brought to me yesterday evening just before dark. And I let him hang overnight. I didn't skin him last night. I was getting ready to head for the river. I didn't skin him last night because I was, 1, getting ready to head for the river, and 2, if I'm gonna let him hang overnight, I usually will leave the skin on just because I don't like to have the dry, if you leave the skin, you know, if you take the skin off, then the meat will get dry whenever you're, you know, before you start actually working the meat. You'll have it'll be like a leathery, the outside of the skin will be kind of leathery and stuff. So I always leave my skin on. And have a good sharp knife here that I can make my cuts with to start skinning. A good sharp knife, thanks to Ricky Wallace. This is my, I think he calls this the Trapper. And I can see getting the hair as you're cutting the hair. Try to keep that hair off, but it has been, the weather around here this past week, this has been our gun season week, and it has been sunny and 65 just about every day. You can leave them hang overnight because it gets cool enough at night, but during the day it's been warm and just not very good hunting weather at all. But we've still got a couple of we've got another weekend after next, we got another gun season weekend that we'll be able to shoot, and then we've got our actual muzzleloader season coming up in January that we'll be able to hunt some more, and hopefully the weather will be a little bit better. It'll be a little bit better for us then, as far as you know, hunting conditions go and the conditions of the fur. Right now, I got a couple of hides that I got to flesh here in a little bit when I get done with this guy. But right now, the hair, even if I wanted to do a hair on deer hide, it's going to be pretty hard for me because the hair just wants to fall out on its own. It's been so warm. You guys see all that? I mean, you can just see the hair coming off of them. What a crazy year, man, this has been. The fishing has been rough. The hunting has been rough. I haven't even pulled my trigger yet. The deer that I've skinned are ones that other folks have brought to me. And I haven't even pulled my trigger yet, except for the doves that we were shooting back in, what was that, back in September or something like that. So, and again, I hope this camera is doing what it's supposed to do. It probably isn't, but you guys, you've seen me skin deer before, and I've got a whole series of working deer hides and skinning and stuff like that. So if that's what you're interested in and you want to see some of that, you can go and look at, I think it's called Skinning and Processing Deer or something like that, on my channel. You can do a channel search and find them. I'm just going to get him. I'm getting him down around the neck, especially on these bucks. Their neck is pretty tough. Getting him down enough to where I can start pulling the hide off. And we'll get to that point in a minute. And I'm not going to bore you guys with these little small, intricate cuts. I will say this knife is awesome. It's an awesome skinning knife. Thank you very much, Ricky. These knives that you make are really good, man. They serve a good purpose, and I don't have to stop and sharpen them all the time. Come on there. Here we go. Man alive, this hair just falling out everywhere. It's aggravating when you go to start cutting the meat and start cutting your steaks and all that kind of stuff, and you got to spend 20 or 30 minutes washing the hair off and all that kind of stuff. I try to keep it off as I'm skinning. That's the best way. That's the best way to do it, is just to try to do a good job skinning. Even when you go to flesh the hide, if you've done a good job skinning, you don't have a whole lot of fleshing to do. So right now I'm just trying to get me a good start here, so I don't have a whole lot of meat left on the hide, and I don't have a lot of hair left on the meat. So, and then like I said, I hang them by the head and I can spin them around pretty easy. Leave the legs on until I get ready to cut them off here in a minute. And I can spin the animal around and you really get at him and work him pretty good. I hold him with my legs and stuff. So anyway, I'm going to do a little bit of skinning on this guy, and we'll take some shots here and there as we go. Well, I had to take his legs off a little higher than what I normally do because of the damage to the front legs, but I've got him skinned out enough now where I can go ahead and raise him up a little bit. I'm just using a regular old $49 chain hoist that I got at Harbor Freight. I don't know what it's called, the engine chain block or something. It's a really good investment if you're going to be skinning a lot of large animals. Take him up to about there. Move my chain out of the way here. Now I can just reach up here and start peeling the hide off. And there's always going to be this stuff right here. This is not meat. This is just another kind of fat that will flesh off when we start fleshing. It's always lighter colored than the actual meat is. And a lot of people will think that that's meat, but it's just another kind of a fat. And it fleshes off pretty easily. Put a little bit of weight into it and skin it. Stop every once in a while and make sure that you're not pulling any meat. I always try to take my time when I'm skinning. For me, it's not a race. You know, you don't get more meat if you skin it fast. A lot of times the exact opposite is true. You get less meat if you try to get in a hurry. You start making mistakes, make bad cuts. And then the next thing you know, oh wow. Next thing you know, you're pulling a bunch of meat off. I will try to cut some of that fat and avoid pulling a whole bunch of that off if I can. Sometimes you can't. All right, I'll bring him down here to the hips. Now what I'm going to do is remove this part of the leg and then make a slit inside here and pull that hide the rest of the way off. So, but it looks like he was a little bit gut shot, but we'll get what we can off of him. All right, there he is. He's all skinned out. I'm gonna take the hide and toss it up over this board here for a little bit, keep it up out of the dirt. Not too bad. Some time on the flesh and bean. And split my tail and stuff. A couple big chunks of fat there that'll come off. But this is, you know, beggars can't be choosers. And like I said, take your time when you're skinning and butchering an animal. That's the best way to learn how the animal's put together, you know. Basically, when you're butchering and skinning, you're taking the animal apart. And if you learn how it's put together, it will make things a lot easier, I promise you. And the best way to do that is to just take your time and learn how that critter is put together. And if you don't like blood and guts and stuff like that, then this is definitely not the lifestyle for you. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of folks who are very successful at living like, you know, the country life, so to speak, the hillbilly life, and they will trade garden goods and stuff like that for their meat versus, you know, going out and butchering and stuff. They just don't like the blood. Like me, I'm a little bit allergic to deer hair. It makes me a little bit itchy, a little bit of an allergy there. It's not so bad that I can't do it. But, you know, it's just one of them things. Everybody is different. Now I'm cutting around inside here this H-bone to pull out the rest of the guts that was attached. That is what is going to be through the pelvis from the animal. And that's how I do it. I'll skin everything and then I'll go ahead and pull it out too. I don't cut it out when we're gutting. I like to leave this H-bone or the pelvis bone in here intact as much as I can. And this dude is going to need some really serious cleaning. It looks like he has a little bit gut shot there. Yeah, and I'm probably not going to be able to use them tenderloins, which really sucks. But, you know, it is what it is. We'll get a lot of good meat off of him, regardless. You know, you don't always get the perfect shot. You know, in the perfect world, you'd have the perfect, nice, close, broadside shot. But a lot of times, you know, it doesn't work that way. You take the shot that you're given and you make it work. And that's what we're going to do. So now I'm going to lower him down onto the table here and start taking him apart. And we'll take little clips here and there. Like I said, this is not a how to skin a deer or how to do anything else today that we're doing. This is just what we do throughout the course of a normal day here in the late fall and early winter. And it's just how it is. A lot of folks won't like this video because, you know, it just is what it is. I mean, this is what we do. This is how we live. And I'm okay with that. It's not for everybody, and that's okay as well. So everybody's got their own style, so to speak. So anyway, I'm going to lower him. I'm going to lower him down, and at the same time, I'm going to lay him down here on this table and start taking him apart. And we'll put him in the cooler for transport up to the house. That way we can start cutting our steaks and grinding and all that kind of stuff. Well, there we have it. There's that little buck. Back straps. Give me backstrap fever. In there, we'll put some ice cream on for now. It's supposed to get up to, I don't know, somewhere in the mid and upper 50s tonight, or today. So we're going to put some ice on them in the cooler until we can get to them to start separating them and butchering them and packaging them and cleaning them up and packaging them and put them in the freezer. So now I'm going to go in, wash my hands, get some lunch, and then we'll start cleaning some fish that I caught last night on the river. I come in late last night and didn't really feel like staying up till 2 or 3 in the morning cleaning fish. So Left them outside in the cooler here. They're just fine. Those are Sauger. I'm going to start cleaning them. And my cooler's a piece of crap. This little cheap Coleman cooler did not hold up very well at all, man. But what are you going to do? So anyway, let me get some lunch. We'll start cleaning some fish. What's up, y'all? Is this camera straight? Probably not. I'm outside working on deer, and Miss Mary is inside working on rabbit. Butchering up some rabbits and getting them cleaned up. So this is what we do. Always doing something, it seems. Well, we're going to start cleaning up filleting up some fish here now that we caught last night down by Franklin Furnace, Ohio, down in that area. These are Sauger. This is a nice size Sauger. Very good eating fish, and the old timers just love it. I've been working with a company called Cadence Fishing on my fishing channel. Those are the rods that I've been using. They have been working very, very well. I will leave a link to the rod that I've been using. If you're looking for a good fast action rod, this is definitely the way to go. And that kind of reminds me too, I've been getting some comments here lately about people saying that they like my videos a lot better, you know, a couple of years back whenever I was, you know, a lot worse off than what I am now. And I'm by no means wealthy, but I've started a couple of businesses. My fishing business, where we're doing bait and fish and stuff like that. I'm not doing any guiding or anything yet. But you know, I don't see there's anything wrong with trying to improve, you know, my life and my kids' life, and I mean, isn't that what it's about? I mean, dudes who's got, you know, the 9-to-5 jobs, they're always happy when they get a raise and they're improving their situation. And it's no different with me. I'm trying to, you know, I started some businesses. Look at that pretty skin. I'm going to send these down to Ricky Wallace too, so he can make some knife sheaths out of these skins. They're real pretty. But, you know, I mean, I get those kind of comments, you know, they're like, I liked it better when you were, you know, digging in the dirt with the shovel and showing us that kind of stuff. And I get it. I mean, I understand that that's, you know, but also things have changed for us in the last, I've been on YouTube 6 years now, and there's been a lot of things that I've been able to improve not only, you know, my life, but my family's life. And that's, to me, that's what it's all about, is making improvements and getting, you know, better at stuff. And like I said, I've started working with a company called Cadence as a product ambassador. Here you go, girls. And I just don't see anything wrong with that, trying to improve our station and our situation in life. I just don't see anything wrong with it. So, and I guess a lot of folks do. You know, they're upset that I have a website and that I, you know, am, I don't know, but I've never asked anybody for anything. You know, the website and the businesses and stuff that I've started, I've done it without asking for donations, without doing any of that kind of stuff. This is stuff that I've just saved up for and worked and try to do this and try to do that and get myself in a better situation. And I just don't understand why some folks don't like that. I mean, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. To me, that's what it's all about, is trying to improve not only my life, but my family's lives, you know, my children's lives. But anyway, you know, I guess it takes all kinds to, you know, make the world go around. Another skin. But even just doing this, you know, making these fish skins and getting these fish for the elders. They won't pay me in money, but they will pay me in, you know, knowledge, and they help me do stuff. A lot of times they'll trade stuff to me for them. And I use all that to, you know, improve ourselves. It's not all about money sometimes. But like I said, anyway, I will leave a link to the Cadence website. Please check them out. It's really nice fishing gear. It's an upstart company. It's good gear. It's at a good, reasonable price. And I'm enjoying them. So far, they've been a really good company. Try to get some of this off of the ribs here. it's been a real good company, and I'm happy with them. And I don't know how well this camera is going to work, but you know, anyway. So anyway, like I said, I'm just trying to improve our station in life. A lot of things have changed in the past 6 years since I started. We've made improvements. We've done better. We're not by no means rich and wealthy and doing well, but we're doing better, and that's what it's all about to me, is doing better. Hi, Pork Chop. Gonna come down and get some goodies? She likes fish, but she also likes her nap time. So, anywho, like I say, please check out the link that I leave, and we're gonna, you know, get some more of these sauger cleaned up here, and I will be going fishing tonight. We're fishing at night right now because we're, as you see, we're pretty busy during the daytime. So we're just trying to do the best we can. And I know there's going to be some happy old timers today when we hit the creek handing out some of this fish. And I do believe that Mrs. Waller is going to make us an apple pie. She makes wonderful apple pies. I don't know. I'm happy with our life. And I know that the people who hate on me, I don't let them get to me. Sometimes there's a few comments that'll, you know, kind of get under my skin and annoy me, but I wouldn't say they get to me. That's all a part of being, you know, on YouTube and making things public. But I can honestly say that I've never asked for your guys' donations or any of that kind of stuff. It's all stuff that I've done on my own. We don't get food stamps. We don't get any of that kind of stuff. We do our own stuff. And that's the way that I like it. And that's what makes me happy. So anyway, I'm going to cut some more of this stuff up. And we'll talk to you guys in a bit when I turn the camera back on. Well, Ricky, he was, get my microphone, sorry about that. If he was wondering how your fleshing knife works, Ricky, it works really well, man. This fleshing knife Ricky made for me, it looks like it's out of a lawnmower blade. And it does. It's doing a really good job, man. That is nice, clean hide right there. Just another part of this time of year, stuff that we do, working up these deer hides. You know, we do the same thing with furs, but I have not even set one single trap yet so far this year. The weather has just not been very good. 65 and sunny does not scream to me, let's go set a trap line. So, but like I said, I don't know how well this is going to come out on video, but this knife is doing really good, Ricky. As all of your knives do, it is doing a very good job, man. And again, if you want to see the whole fleshing process and stuff, I made a couple of years back, I made some videos on working the deer hides the way that I do to get usable leather. And I think we did one with the hair on, if I remember correctly. I don't remember. But those all you can do is search for working deer hides, and they should pop up if you want to see the whole process. Like I said, today is not a how-to video. You're just kind of hanging out with you guys because I haven't made a video in a while, and this is part of the reason why. This time of year we get pretty busy, and it's not going to be long that I'm going to be going up to the house again, and I got to get some tools and stuff together. Day after tomorrow, I've been helping one of my buddies do some building and get a new place ready over in Kentucky. So I got to get some stuff together for that. And then as soon as it gets dark, I'm going to go and hit somewhere on the river tonight. We'll go and hit the river and see if we can't get some more sauger while they're running up in this section of the river anyway. I think maybe next week I'm going to go down to Meldal, see if I can't get some down there fishing, but trying to get the old timers stocked up. This time of year we try to make sure everybody's got fresh meat, fresh fish getting ready to go into the winter time. Just part of being a community, helping each other out. But like I said, this is what I'll be doing here for the next little bit. It takes me, I don't know, 20 minutes or so to flesh this isn't a great big deer. This isn't a great big deer hide, but it'll probably take 20 minutes or so to flesh it out. And that way we got the raw hide. And once we get it to the raw hide stage, we can preserve it a lot easier. We don't have to worry about all this stuff here rotting. And then we can soak it in our lime water. We can soak it in lime and start peeling the hair off. Because this one here, the hair is falling out from the weather. So this will be a regular old piece of buckskin leather when we get done with it. Get done with all the fleshing. Man, look at that. Very easy. This knife got some good weight to it, Ricky. You did a good job, brother. Thank you. Anyway, I'm not going to bore you guys with this. We'll keep moving along and keep doing what we do. And that may be just about it for today, because there's going to be, I heard some shooting a little while back. So hopefully here in the next little bit of time, there'll be another couple of deer that'll show up to be cleaned and skinned. And I will try to get those done before dark or immediately after dark with our headlamps. That way I can let them hang in the cool night. I think it's supposed to get down to about 33 or 34 tonight. So that should be all right to let them hang overnight, and I can come out in the morning and pretty much start over again, doing what we do every day. At this time of year is when we do this stuff. There's, you know, we have different things. You know, it depending on what time of year it is, that kind of dictates what we're going to be doing. So, anyway, like I said, I'm not going to bore you guys because I'm not even sure my camera's pointed in the right direction here. Well, there you have it, guys. I hope that was an enjoyable video. Just kind of hanging out with us for a little bit of what we do around here at this time of year. At some point here, we're going to have to take some time and cut and split some firewood and stack it up. But you guys have seen that before too. There's nothing special about that. I've got a couple more deer that I'm going to peel here before it gets dark. And then I'll be headed to the river to go sauger fishing. So if you want to watch the fishing videos, be sure to subscribe to my fishing channel, which is the Regular Dude Fishing channel. Don't forget about our sale that we're having on our website, RanketsCreekRabbitry.com. We're having a sale on all of our t-shirts, 20% off. Use the coupon code JCLAWS at checkout, and it runs through December the 15th. So be sure to get in on that, and be sure and check out the Cadence link that I leave in the bottom of the description box as well. They got some really good fishing equipment, good fishing gear, and I'm very happy with them. And I am very thankful for each and every one of you guys who takes the time to watch these videos and hang out with us. And I'm not quite sure what else to do today. It's just going to be the normal stuff. Peeling deer and fishing and cleaning fish and packaging up meat and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of just a little bit of what we do. Hope it wasn't too boring and mundane. And I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for your support and your business. I really do appreciate that. You guys have a great rest of the day. God bless. The end.
Buzz, buzz. The end.